Engstrom,
I, Andrew Paul Daniel Engstrom,
do take Melissa Renee Warren
to
be my lawfully wedded wife,
lawfully and pancakey I've been scared of this all my life. Just give her a second.
It's okay, folks. I've seen this before. Okay. I, Andrew Paul
See, man and wife.
The court will take a recess.
Lawfully, lawfully wedded wife. I just thought I'd start your day with a laugh because I thought that was hilarious. And he was of the mind, right? He said in pancakey too, but his lawfully wedded wife. Say that fast 3 or 4 times. Hey, folks, how's it going? We're going to talk about, are you not entertained? Did you know the UN's running out of money? Yeah. The UN's running out of money. And you thought good things couldn't happen. Okay, folks, you know the drill. Lift a finger, give me the finger, and share this program right now. We're going to talk about some serious things going on. I just wanted to start you with a laugh because the rest of the program, you're just going to get pissed or cry, right? That's just kind of the way it is. It's going to kind of piss you off or you're going to cry. By the way, right? And thank you for fingering me. I greatly appreciate it. I love to start my day that way. Hey, folks, I want you to go to jovanlovesgold.com because just request your free gold and silver kit. It's that simple. Just request your free gold and silver kit. Because now is the time to protect your money with gold and silver. You've seen gold do this wild ride, but it's not about gold investing or silver investing. It is about mainly those of you that have a retirement account, 401k, etc., right? That if something happened in all these winter storms, let's say, and you were going to try to get some of your money out to repair your home, they're probably going to ding you 50%. And I just think that's ridiculous. Because you really don't have control of your own money. You've put in it for decades, and it's just kind of upsetting. So why don't you just feed your brain? Go to Jovan Loves Gold. That's it. Jovan Loves Gold. That's all I want you to do. Feed your brain. Feed your brain. Feed your brain. Feed your brain. And request your free gold and silver kit that I do with the fine folks at Gold Co. It's very easy to do, right? Because you know our elections, they'll change them right underneath this. You know they do it. I put nothing past the system and the rat bastards. Nothing at all. Okay. We're going to talk about some of the news headlines going on. The angle. Are we just watching entertainment? Are we just watching distractions? Are we just watching the fluffers at work before the filming begins? I don't know. Hell, at least that would be entertaining. But the stuff we're going through right now, I think is junk. And I think the worse it gets, the more junk is being thrown at us. And it's all over the place. Like somebody said, Savannah Guthrie's, from Today Show or whatever, in Arizona, her mother kidnapped from her sleep. If I had to guess, well, what's going on in Arizona? You got all the freaking cartels and all the stuff. Might end up being, right? Might end up being for ransom. Who knows? I don't know. But that's pretty bold, don't you think? That's pretty damn bold for them to do that. And that's what we're going to talk about.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yep. How much of this is entertainment? Just to keep us distracted from the things we need to fix, like our elections. We'll get started. 2 minutes.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now.
Warning. The following program has been rated Gilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you? Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians, the elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media, and the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd? Cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. He's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
I want to thank you guys in chat. You reminded me of something. And by the way, I watched the chat during the program. Chat is a very important part of every program. This is not just where I'm not just talking and speaking out you or whatever. You're part of this. We're all family here. We're all in this together. So when I challenge somebody in chat, it's probably because you brought something up provocative. It's because you're part of the program. And it's because I don't let trolls go unanswered. I don't think that's a good thing for anybody. I have a clip here. I want to make sure I've got it. Hang on. Stand by. There you go. I do have it. Hang on. I want to show you something. Remember that name, Rogelio Martinez. I think if you give all of these people enough time, or you pay attention, and I know all of us have turned away from mainstream media. But we have gone so far down the road, we have been taken over. I truly believe it. And there are so many bad actors that have been inserted into our government that I believe they just kind of openly mock us. And they try to just keep us entertained, keep the people distracted with all the fights. You've seen it before. It's been a practice that's been part of history.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
You do have a name.
My name is Gladiator.
Yeah, my name is Gladiator. Great movie, by the way. Great movie, by the way. My life was a different life then. Every time I see that movie, I'm reminded of the fact I was literally sitting in Steven Spielberg, but in a meeting with Steven Spielberg in Steven's office when they were just on the final edits, getting ready to release it, and they knew it was definitely an Academy Award contender. I lived in a very liberal world and liberal space. I was never a liberal, but I also was never political. I didn't give a shit. And I was worse than any rat bastard politician we have out there. And I'll tell you why. Because I knew it was a conservative and I stood for conservative things, even though I operated in a very liberal world, but I did nothing about it. Nothing. Just went on about my life. Didn't want to be involved. Knew politics was creepy. And I went on with my blinders. And I believe now that inherently made me worse than even the bad guys, because the bad guys tell you what they're going to do. They get your permission by you just not answering it, never pushing back. And I realized me being apathetic, not giving a crap, is ultimately worse. Yeah, I'd vote for a president. I didn't give a rat's hoo-hoo about anything down ticket. Didn't. Couldn't even tell you who the people were. So I treated my ballot like a freaking lottery ticket. If I really like somebody, okay, I'll go ahead and vote. And then if I recognize their name, okay, I'd give them a check mark. And that's where the deception is, because I was not doing my duty as an American. And that's how we got here. That's how we got here. And we keep on doing it and keep on doing it. And when the system gets the rat bastard players in, the system can even keep them in office when they're useless zombies.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
There was a person inside, Secret Service won't tell you who, of course, that tells me that is all an act. Because of things being found out about foreign money from China, that he's playing out a protection card in advance. So if things come down, he's not fit for trial. He's not fit for incarceration. It'll be interesting to see what comes down on that. If he's really that far gone or that zombified, right? Pretty scary. In the fact that even if he was that bad, here he is running, right? Still in office and continue to run and put in, continue to run and put in, continue to run and put in. Playing games with us the entire time. Look, I just got a notification. Facebook went down. Am I touching a touchy subject today? Anyway, these people, I think, are placed intentionally in office. And if you pay attention, they reveal who they are. Here is the mayor. Well, you watch.
My name is Rogelio Martinez. I am calling all 55 gangs in...
Now, somebody says he's the mayor of Long Beach. Don't know, but listen.
My name is Rogelio Martinez. I am calling all 55 gangs in my beautiful city. I expect a gang leader from every gang, all 55 gangs, and I'm not going to name them by name, but I'm calling the Latino gangs. I'm calling the Cambodian gangs. I'm calling the Filipino gangs. I'm calling the black gangs.
I want you to understand this. Many people are saying, and I don't know, confirm it on your own, but they're saying this is the mayor of Long Beach. And he's calling on the gangs. I'm going to play the whole thing for you. Why does the mayor of Long Beach have a working relationship with the leaders of the gangs that he says, I'm calling on my friends? That's the mayor of Long Beach.
My name is Rogelio Martinez. I am calling all 55 gangs in my beautiful city. I expect a gang leader from every gang, all 55 gangs, and I'm not going to name them by name, but I'm calling the Latino gangs. I'm calling the Cambodian gangs. I'm calling the Filipino gangs. I'm calling the black gangs. I'm calling the Pacific Islander gangs. I'm calling all gang leaders to meet me right here, Long Beach City Hall, this coming Monday. Why Monday? Specifically, I need you to be here to meet me in person to take back this city. Because our leadership is not doing anything about it, and our police are powerless. Once again, let me be very clear. My name is Rogelio Martinez, your 2026 Long Beach City Mayor, and I need your help. I need to see 55 gang leaders here this coming Monday. We need to take back the city. Enough is enough. ICE needs to get out of Long Beach. And this is the only way that I know how to get them out. Peacefully, but with strong force. But peacefully. And remember, the police are not at fault. The police are not doing anything wrong. I'm not here to defund the police. I stand with my Long Beach police officers, my men and women that serve the Long Beach police.
Okay, I did a little bit of checking while that ran. He's not the actual mayor installed now, even though he identifies himself as the 2026 mayor. He's a candidate for mayor. That was basically a campaign speech. Holy shit. Rounding up everybody under the premise of stolen lands and all this stuff. We got to get the gangs out on the street. That is a person running for office.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Oh my God. She's so brave. That's so brave.
Oh, Phineas. Phineas?
Yes, dear.
Oh, Phineas. You know what I realized? Since no one is illegal on stolen land, that means there's no rules. There's no laws.
Oh, yes, my sweet dear. We can finally get married.
Oh, Phineas. And we can have that Nepo baby we always wanted.
So Billie Eilish at the Grammys, who was evidently political, made this statement that nobody's in illegal on stolen land. Few questions. Put it in chat. If somebody comes to your home, get a picture of it in your head, and they take something from you, can we agree that it's stolen? Kind of makes sense, right? They went to your home and they stole it. And so when the police come to investigate the theft, what do they investigate? Right? They investigate your home. And what are they looking at in your home to find out that the thieves broke through a back window, came through your backyard, tore down the gate, came through the back window, broke the back window and got in your house? Can you kind of imagine that investigation in your head? Yes. And so those thieves did what? Well, they kind of broke through your personal borders, didn't they? Can't be stolen if there were no borders to begin with. And then they stand on you get the conundrum there? Do you get the conundrum of how this nonsensical wordsmithing bullshit plays out? And then they get somebody famous. Oh, look, we put you up there. We're going to keep you going. We'll get you in the press. We'll make sure you make the cover of the news. Can you see how it's all a game?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Part of that entertainment that's going on right now, that when we see that our entire country has been freaking captured, I want to show you a teacher trying to get the students to go back to class instead of protest ICE. Kids learn this from teachers. Kids learn this from TV. Can kids feel like this is okay because they see it all over TV and they never see any repercussions? This is the training they have been given our children. Again, this is a teacher out on campus trying to get the kids to stop and get back in class.
You a bitch! Hey, you want another ass beat? Come on out! Fucking bitch! Fucking kill yourself! You fucking fool!
Tell him to kill himself. He does his job as a teacher coming and saying this to get them to stop. Now, is it just what they're saying on TV? Or as part of this entertainment package?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Is it just what they're teaching our kids in school?
It's going to get me a lot of hate, but no, white Americans don't have culture. I am not exaggerating when I say every element of white culture has been stolen from people of color. That is why white people get so...
It's racist to think somebody with dark skin is a thief. It's knowing your history if you're thinking somebody with white skin steals everything.
It's going to get me a lot of hate, but no, white Americans don't have culture. I am not exaggerating when I say every element of white culture has been stolen from people of color. That is why white people get so angry and jealous of minority groups, because they have cookouts, they have big and fun celebrations, they dance, they have amazing food. What do we have? We have processed meat. We don't use a lot.
Now, I know you were probably like me when you were younger, and you get in a car with your parents and you drive to that special neighborhood. Not that neighborhood with all the big houses going, man, someday I'd like to have a big house. Not even out in the country, the big ranches go, man, I want a ranch like that. I know what you did with your parents. You drove around till you smelled the barbacoa. Oh, man, I wish I could grill out. I wish I could cook like that.
It's going to get me a lot of hate, but no, white Americans don't have culture. I am not exaggerating when I say every element of white culture has been stolen from people of color. That is why white people get so angry and jealous of minority groups, because they have cookouts, they have big and fun celebrations, they dance, they have amazing food. What do we have? We have processed meat. We don't use a lot of seasoning, right? Because I think a lot of people are scared of food being too ethnic. So it's often bland or overcooked. We have music, but a lot of the music that we listen to has actually been stolen from other cultures and people. Elvis, for example, or even country music, which was founded by Black people. Oh, but a lot of white Americans are Christians and they celebrate Christmas. Right, but that was originally a pagan holiday. And Christians actually persecuted pagans for celebrating their religion, and now we stole that and Easter, and that's our culture. The craziest thing is when we do actually have celebrations, white families are often very so these celebrations are very small and exclusive. A lot of white people don't dance or they don't have rhythm. So there's really no way of bonding with new people or joining together in movement and community. And I genuinely believe that a lot of white people's racism stems from jealousy, 100%.
Stupid bitch. It's not that we don't have rhythm. It's a white man. It's just because we can't jump, dumbass. Frankly, I see they're teaching history. They taught all the important things, that America stole everything. And I have to admit, our ancestors 1,000 years ago when we came here, when we were so violently ripping open cans of manufactured potted meat found in the open prairie, what was that? Your ancestors didn't hunt manufactured meat? Where the fuck are you from?
It's going to get me a lot of hate, but no, white Americans don't have culture. I am not exaggerating when I say every element of white culture has been stolen from people of color. That is why white people get so angry and jealous of minority groups, because they have cookouts, they have big and fun celebrations, they dance, they have amazing food. What do we have? We have processed meat. We don't use a lot of seasoning, right? Because I think a lot of people are scared of food being too ethnic. So it's often bland or overcooked. We have music, but a lot of the music that we listen to has actually been stolen from other cultures and people. Elvis, for example, or even country music, which was founded by Black people. Oh, but a lot of white Americans are Christians and they celebrate Christmas. Right, but that was originally a pagan holiday. And Christians actually persecuted pagans for celebrating their religion, and now we stole that and Easter, and that's our culture. The craziest thing is when we do actually have celebrations, white families are often very so these celebrations are very small and exclusive. A lot of white people don't dance or they don't have rhythm, so there's really no way of bonding with new people or joining together in movement and community. And I genuinely believe that a lot of white people's racism stems from jealousy, 100%.
Like I said, it was pretty normal for me in my childhood. After we would eat our bland can of Spam, to get in the car, because I grew up in South Texas, and we just drove around the neighborhood because I was the token white kid, and we just sought out barbecues, and we'd sit in our car choking from the spices of the jalapenos that they were putting on their food, but nonetheless, just wanting to be able to dance like them, just wanting to be able to get together and dance and party. And we thought, man, if only we knew how to enjoy life. Because here we are, stupid fucking gringos working hard, having a job when we could just be barbecuing. And all this time, I was misguided as to we need a little spice in our life, and it was literal. I thought it was something sexual, as a matter of fact. That's how fucking stupid I am. But it was literal. This is what I mean by entertain. And yeah, breaking news. Bill and Hillary Clinton agree to testify after Coomer moves forward holding them in criminal contempt in front of Congress. Coomer, yes, not Coomer FBI, Coomer's daughter, who is the prosecutor, the Clintons who enabled Comey, Clintons who were good friend with Comey. He told his daughter, no, you hold them to account. Do you get what I'm saying? Does that make any sense to you?
Are you not entertained?
Does that make any sense to you? Coomer's daughter's the prosecutor. She handles the case. Coomer worked to take down Trump, ostensibly at the behest of the Clintons, was a Clinton favorite. A Clinton-appointed judge got Coomer off. Now Coomer's daughter, who's the prosecutor, has threatened the Clintons with criminal contempt, which has happened before because she didn't testify in the little server thing, did she? Deleting her emails. But that Coomer, or so I'm saying Coomer, I mean Comey. I apologize. I got my fuckhead screwed up. Comey. Okay, now I got it made up. Comey. That's what it says. Bill and Hillary Clinton agree to testify after, well, you know what? I'm reading it wrong. I'm shitting all over this story. It is Coomer. It's not Comey. It's Coomer. Chairman James Coomer. Boy, I shit just all over this one. It's not Comey. It's Coomer. James Coomer. Fuck. I abused my white privilege on that one. Coomerona Coney? Can I make it up? Question is, if I substituted any name in there, like somebody with power, like Bill Barr, would it matter? Would it matter? The reality is, insert any name there. Yeah, the simulation glitched. I poo-pooed on that one. My fault. Just a question, though. I'll just take my fault and run with it. Fuck that one up. Would any matter? Just a question. Would any matter? Can you offer me in chat one name? One name. Lindell. I'm just asking a question. Could you insert any name in there that would make a difference? Because I butchered the shit out of that one. Any name. Who is it? Who would it be that would actually hold any of these guys to account or prosecute? Let me ask you another question. Do you think it takes just a name? Perry Mason. Do you think it takes just a name? Honest question. If you had a hardcore gladiator fucking warrior willing to expose it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Would it get to prosecution? Honest question. Honest question. Would it get to prosecution? Do you actually believe it would get to prosecution? Judge Janine, okay, you put her there. Ed Martin, by the way, Ed Martin just left his post. He's leaving his second office now. I don't really know why. Any of them. That tells you the work we have to do is to head it off. To head it off before it happens. But can we get it? Yeah, on that note, because somebody said Ed Martin. He was Deputy Attorney General. Todd Blanche has fired Ed Martin as Chief of Department of Justice Weaponization Working Group. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche fired Ed Martin as Chief of the Justice Department's Weaponization Working Group, according to investigative reporter Paul Sperry. Last May, President Trump tapped Ed Martin to be the U.S. pardon attorney after Rhino Senator Tillis derailed his nomination for D.C. U.S. attorney. He was also named by Trump to serve as the Justice Department's Director of Weaponization Working Group. On Monday, it was reported that Ed Martin was removed from his role as Chief of Weaponization at DOJ. That's interesting because he was just in Georgia. That's interesting. Which still has me in my same question. Still.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What are we seeing? What are we watching? What's going on? Can I ask you a question? When was the last rat bastard in politics, DC politics, held to account. And who was it? Anybody? When was the last one? When I say DC, I mean a top position. I'm not talking about some peon you never heard of. All of a sudden they put them away because they're an assistant director to the assistant director of the assistant director. You say Nixon, I'm even beginning to think Nixon was a setup myself. Isn't that weird? When I really look at what happened, it's not Trump. What was Trump held to account for? He didn't do anything. So what was it? Who was any DC top person? Can you name one, just one, at any point in time? Any point in time. They got caught doing something wrong. They were held to account, which I would accept. It'd be even better if they went to court. Menendez? Was he top? Would you consider him top DC? Or was he a little lower guy that they let go so it looks like they're riding roughshod on bad guys? That was Menendez. He was the one that got caught with gold bars. But he got caught with gold bars. Is there any? Harvey Weinstein, rat bastard, but I think Hollywood just sacrificed him. Did we really get Weiner? Did Weiner get held to account? Would you call that held to an account? 25 people known to have accompanied Epstein and all this Epstein stuff did plea bargains, none of them involving jail. Oh, they prosecuted the shit out of conservatives. Yeah, they prosecuted the shit out of conservatives. But I'm talking about real bad guys. You know, Trump wasn't a bad guy. Trump didn't do anything wrong. Is there any? Somebody said James Trafficant. Sorry. Somebody asked, Jovan, what's in your mouth? My tongue. A little bit of hair. My teeth? What's in my mouth? You mean my voice? What's in your mouth? Don't ask that of a lawmaker. Fucking A. Oh, well, that's right. Who did that? Dina. The truth. Just a minute ago was some bullshit, right? What's in your mouth? Not the shit that's in my wallet. Hey, you want to talk about shit? Let me show you something that's re-fucking circulating again. That's why I'm asking the question. Is this all like bullshit entertainment? Conservatives, once again, in this Venezuela, Chile, China, PCAPs, polynomial factor codatos. Here's one of the guys that when PCAPs first came out, this was the other side of the coin. And top conservatives are having this guy back on again. See if you remember this entertainment.
Let me just say again what I said in 2016. There are honorable members of our intelligence, military, and civilian community in the government who understood exactly how corrupt Biden and the Democratic machinery is was, and will be. This is really a sting operation, contrary to what everybody else said. Trump knew this was happening. Eric knew this was happening and warned the public. I knew this was happening. However, I could not say anything about it. What happened was we watermarked every ballot with what's called the QFS blockchain encryption code. In other words, we know pretty well where every ballot is, where it went, and who has it. So this is not a stolen election. On the contrary, we reversed the entire game of war along the lines of Sun Tzu, the art of war. And Trump was brilliant and still is brilliant at it. In the art of the war, you pull back, allow your enemy to make all the mistakes that they are making, manipulate the situation, expose them, and then come in for the final killing. And that's what's happening now. None of this was unexpected. The genius of Trump is that he is able to pull back at any point and manipulate the opponent without the opponent ever realizing. And he said, I will use common sense or my intelligence, i.e. both literal and figurative intelligence. What was not announced was that we watermarked all the ballots with what I said, QFS blockchain, which is a very hard encryption code to break. And the second thing is we sent probably 20,000 or more National Guards 48 hours ago. None of it was reported, and I thank the press for not reporting it and others. So what in fact is happening is you're seeing a sophisticated sting operation that was initiated by Trump. I'm just a lowly peasant in this game. And honestly, I was informed that I could say something about it today, only last night. This is not a surprise here. This is the biggest sting operation probably in our country that we've ever had. To use it in terms of counting, knowing which ones were fake, which ones were not, it's a very sophisticated code. So if you just throw them away, these are cyber communication implementations that we have the code for. We know exactly what was thrown away. We know exactly what was placed. We know exactly who has it, and we know exactly where it went. I can't go any further than that.
God bless CIA whistleblowers. That former CIA asset risked life and limb to bring you that story. These ballots with QFS blockchain and their ability to talk to satellites. Do you know how hard it was to hide the fucking battery so the transmitter would work in all those fucking ballots? I'm glad I didn't worry about it. I'm glad I didn't lift a finger. I'm glad it was really a sting operation by President Trump. When I ask him, he says, that guy's a fucking idiot. But then again, that could be a cover operation as well. That person, these CIA whistleblowers, are circulating again. I play that for you. You know why I play that for you? It's a very distinct reason I play that for you.
Are you not entertained? 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 Is this not why you are here?
You do have a name. My name is Gladiator.
My name is Jovan, and I audited those fucking ballots. I want you to count on your fingers, and we're going to start with this one. Maybe you can start with these two. I want you to count on your fingers how many stupid keywords this shill spits in that to me. I want to remind you, this is on InfoWars. I want you to think about that. By the way, did you see my interview on InfoWars? Did you see it? Fucking neither did I. Count how many keywords. Because this is how it works. This is the plan, folks. This is how this shit works. Venezuela. Count on your fingers how many times he drops a buzzword.
Let me just say again what I said in 2016. There are honorable members of our intelligence, military, and civilian community in the government who understood exactly how corrupt Biden and the Democratic machinery is.
And that's why they were all on President Trump's side. And God bless 28,000 National Guard, and not a single fucking one of them leaked it.
Let me just say again what I said in 2016. There are honorable members of our intelligence, military, and civilian community in the government who understood exactly how corrupt Biden and the Democratic machinery is, was, and will be. This is really a sting operation, contrary to what everybody else said. Trump knew this was happening. Eric knew this was happening and warned the public. I knew this was happening. However, I could not say anything about it. What happened was we watermarked every ballot with what's called the QFS blockchain encryption code. In other words, we know pretty well where every ballot is, where it went, and who has it. So this is not a stolen election. On the contrary, we reversed the entire game of war along the lines of Sun Tzu, the art of war. And Trump was brilliant and still is brilliant at it. In the art of the war, you pull back, allow your enemy to make all the mistakes that they are making, manipulate the situation, expose them, and then come in for the final killing. And that's what's happening now. None of this was unexpected. The genius of Trump is that he is able to pull back at any point and manipulate the opponent without the opponent ever realizing. And he said, I will use common sense or my intelligence, i.e. both literal and figurative intelligence. What was not announced was that we watermarked all the ballots with what I said, QFS blockchain, which is a very hard encryption code to break. And the second thing is we sent probably 20,000 or more National Guards 48 hours ago. None of it was reported, and I thank the press for not reporting it and others. So what in fact is happening is you're seeing a sophisticated sting operation that was initiated by Trump. I'm just a lowly peasant in this game, and honestly, I was informed that I could say something about it today, only last night. This is not a surprise here. This is the biggest sting operation probably in our country that we've ever had. To use it in terms of counting, knowing which ones were fake, which ones were not, it's a very sophisticated code. So if you just throw them away, these are cyber communication implementations that we have the code for. We know exactly what was thrown away. We know exactly what was placed. We know exactly who has it, and we know exactly where it went. I can't go any further than that.
People will make excuses. He was lying to trick the bad guys. Let me ask you a question. Because we got 5 years now. 5 years. How do all of your Q friends answer you that, well, President Trump was in charge? President Trump and I laughed about that too. Fucking Q-tards. What do you make of that? Here's what I make of it. We're in the same cycle again. It amazes me how people can be so short-sighted, can believe stuff like that. And it's a cyber thing, and it talks to the satellite. QFS. Keyword, 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 keyword. Double down on that keyword, because that's a key keyword. How many of these fucking operations were there?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We have them all. I was on an Antifa call. We caught them. We watermarked all the ballots. We QFS blockchain. We know where everyone was. They communicate with satellite. President Trump's in charge. Military's in control. We caught them all. We have all 3,000 counties PCAPs. The lawmakers can come in, sit down with our cyber guys. We will show them where it is. We show them how they do it. They can take it back to their cyber guys, and they can show it, and they go, holy smoke, we'll see how many votes were changed, and you will know. We saw the votes change on TV. It was a 6-degree polynomial, and we caught it. It was in PCAPs, and we got them all. It was China through Italy. They stopped for pasta, but Italy too. Now it's Venezuela, Serbia. Anything to keep you away from what really happened. Our own fucking country raped us. Now you understand why I say,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
and then they want you wondering, well, what's going to happen to my future? This guy knows. He's prepared for the future.
I mean, you should know where every MAGA is in your neighborhood. I know every neighbor in my condo HOA complex. I know everyone, and I watch them closely. And when shit pops off, I'm not going to go out looking for someone. I have people right here around me to take care of. And so do you.
Somebody asked, so that Mr. Pulitzer, see, all this time you thought it was Q, it was fucking Z. Same on you. So he's a paid shill? Why would you ask that? Let me just ask you an honest question. If somebody gets on television repeatedly and tells you they've got everything, it went to China, they know every fucking vote, how it was changed, they know all 3,300 counties, their experts did it, 45 white hats got their white hats together and wore big fucking white hats and did it, and we have it all, we prove it all, we're going to show you all. The day we're going to show you all, oops, we're not going to show you shit, but we are going to talk about Tina Peters, and we're going to say out loud, it was a crime. Oh shit, she went to jail, but give me more, defend me, give me more, defend me, give me more, defend me, till you get to court, and he has to say under oath, oh, we never had him. Can I just ask a question? What the fuck's wrong with that picture? The very people that told you they were on a call and everything was going to be got fixed by Dominion, which that story keeps on circulating. It generated $9 billion in lawsuits. It ended up being a windfall of over a couple $1 billion in cash, more than Dominion had ever made, paid by the public, paid by these companies you trust. Proven court after court after court after court after court to be total bullshit, and he's running for governor. Oh, wait a minute. I've got it all. I wear a cross on the outside of my shirt. You bought a shitload of pillows from me. I lied to you for years about having PCAPs. Oh, it too was a CIA whistleblower. Fund me, fund me, fund me, please. Fund me, fund me. Got it all. They can confirm it. Everybody's seen it. Fucking raccoon. I even had a raccoon and a monkey confirm it. That's how, if a fucking monkey can understand it and a fucking woodland creature can understand it, you can understand it. We got them all. till it wasn't. But now he's running for governor. But how many people don't see that pattern? How many people do not see that pattern? By the way, I just got a thumbs down from Joe and the professor. Thank you. At least you're fucking consistent, just like your lies. I want you to think about that. People believe their belief systems so fucking hard that when their hero testifies in court under oath with a jury says, well, we never had him, you still believe he has them. Have you ever thought about that? Do you not see that as to why we're in this position?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Just a question. Do you not see it? Do you not see the con?
The Charlie Kirk story. I'm having difficulty confirming Erica Kirk's alibi. Charlie Kirk, very easy to confirm. Tons of people saw him. But Erica, yeah, join us using...
Who doesn't have an alibi for Charlie Kirk's shooting, Candace?
The Charlie Kirk story. I'm having difficulty confirming Erica Kirk's alibi. Charlie Kirk, very easy to confirm. Tons of people saw him. But Erica, yeah, join us using...
Charlie had an alibi because he got offed. But that's right. She wasn't there.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Well, Candace knows why she wasn't there. Breaking story. It's the Jews.
Good evening, my fellow Goyim. You know who was not surprised at all while reading through the Epstein files? The people that are in my book club, because the book that we are currently reading is Sigmund Freud and the Jewish mystical tradition. Yes, he hated Christians. It's a fact. He wrote about it extensively. He hated Catholics. And yes, they perform rituals. That is not an imagination. It's not a conspiracy. The only conspiracy are those that are colluding to hide those facts. Well, how could you have the Star of David once upon a time? What was it? Before 1914, that was the flag of Morocco. That's weird. That's not a Jewish nation. What does it actually symbolize? Occult mysticism. That's why it's on the cover of Aleister Crowley's books. They deem children to be a necessary part of their initiation rituals. He writes, imagine I obtained a scene, which means a patient was speaking to him about this, about the circumcision of a girl, the cutting of a piece of her labia, sucking up the blood, following which the child was given a piece of the skin to eat. He then fast forwards and he says, I dream, therefore, of a primeval devil religion whose rites are carried on secretly, and I understand the harsh therapy of the witches' judges. Sigmund Freud, the background story there is wild. All right, he was once an outcast in the very tight-knit, perverted psychology club in Vienna because he told the truth. He went to the morgue. He examined children who had died after they were horrifically murdered and sexually assaulted. And then he also saw patients who were children.
I have to be fair. I was supposed to play a training video for you to understand. Sorry.
Extra, extra! Trump deported a U.S. citizen who didn't even break the law!
No way! Really?
Yeah. Okay, but did that really happen?
Well, technically. He was an undocumented U.S. citizen, and he did break the law, but only in the sense that arson is still illegal. Technically.
Technically.
Well, I'm already feeling emotions, so none of those distinctions matter.
What? The story was a complete lie. A lie? Because of some technicality?
Technicality?
How about this? Trump deported a community organizer even though they were born here and never broke the law. just because they were Hispanic.
Oh my gosh, I'm so emotional about that.
And when you say he was born here...
The world. He was born in this world, human like the rest of us, technically.
Tuck in Italy.
And he wasn't in a gang?
Oh, I get it. When white people do it, it's community organizing, but when a Venezuelan does it, he's in MS-13, technically.
Ethnicity.
Yeah, seriously.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, you just want to blow that off? Well, how's this, you monster? Trump deported an aspiring nuclear physicist whose family had been here since the Mayflower, simply because he got a tan last summer and looked a little brown.
I feel I need to ask for clarity.
Clarity? I think it's clear you're going to hell.
By here since the Mayflower, do you mean he's of Aztec descent?
Technically. He was also technically.
Chechnya.
A child trafficker.
We're done here.
Just another uninformed voter with his fake news.
Thank you for watching.
But do you know what that is? You see candidates and stuff, and you don't recognize the threat, the real threat.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Do you want to know what's extremely dangerous to our democracy? Not knowing we're a fucking constitutional republic. So let me ask you a question.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
This warfare, this psychological warfare is so pervasive that it even goes to the highest offices in the country can be captured by it. I've always told you we're the cure. That's it. You're the cure. If you had intellectual honesty, you could look back in time and you could audit everything that was said, and you should be able to look at it and go, those fuckers were full of shit. You should now be able to see all the bad people that are involved and how far it goes. If you understand that, then you understand, because folks, let me just ask you a question. Between American ownership and the government ownership, we're a $400 trillion operation. They are making a play for $400 trillion. 10% interest would be 40 trillion. 1% interest would be 4 trillion. 0.5% interest in controlling that would be 2 trillion. I want you to think about that. Because that's what it is. We're battery earning units. We got a man in the White House fighting it, surrounded by people that want the system to continue to work the way it is. And sometimes, I realize it needs to be conveniently packaged. I can sit in the White House, or correction, sit with President Trump at his desk, go through a 28-page, each one's a one reader, 2 or 3 paragraphs a page. Boom, 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 boom. Here how it is. He get it. He understand it. And then the right hand said, could you reduce that to a paragraph for me? Maybe 2 at max. I want you to think about that for a minute. But now we can clearly see it. The question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Maybe you waited for Q. Maybe you waited for PCAPs. Maybe you waited for Coomer. Fucking maybe you're waiting for Venezuelan Smartmatic. Which, by the way, they swung the whole election and they only used Smartmatic in Los Angeles County. Anyway, see, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Here's what I need you to understand. On the books, courtesy of the Democrats, on the books, courtesy of the Democrats, when they were getting ready to do what they did in the pandemic, they triggered a group of events to open up our infrastructure to make it happen. That was the premise of our bestseller, Countdown to Chaos. We showed you every contract, every person, every movement up to 2020 that made it happen, where they federalized our elections. We showed you everything. And it was all a con. And now you see it all play out and you know it. And here we are. Well, you got to understand, in order to steal an election, you have to know every vote's coming in. Common sense. If you think you need 1 million extra votes to win X state and you just throw in 1 million and then they come in and it breaks the bank, it's too obvious. You can't do that. So what do you have to do? You have to watch every single vote as it comes in a very well-timed countdown. And in that countdown, you understand where all the information is. And then you know, after the fact, while it's going on, how many votes you need to insert to make it happen. That's all it is. So they've gone that far. But in order to make it legal, because we don't have federalized elections, what we have is we have state elections. Hold on. We have state elections that happen to have federal components. That's why President Trump cannot say, Arizona, you got to get rid of mail-in ballots. You hear it, but he can't actually do it. Here is the tag you need to use. Put this tag on. I'm going to show you how it works. Hang on. Let me go to here. Let me go to here. Let me share my screen, and I'll show you how and why this works. I'm going to go share my screen. Okay. Here's my just generic Twitter as it sets right now. Okay. Let's see if I can pump. Shit. I didn't want that. I'm going to see if I can pump this up a bit. Well, it goes the wrong way. Never mind. See on the top right up here, top right search bar, type in # burn the voter rolls. The reason you use a hashtag is because of this. When you do it, you hit it, there it is. It's every person, every piece of media, who's posting it, how is it being posted, etc. This is how you get the message out. So you use a hashtag in order to cite it in. like a laser. So the hashtag is burn the voter rolls. Okay? Now, in order for the Democrats to do what they did, they basically took our elections and they put them under critical infrastructure like airlines, power companies, phone companies, internet, etc. Okay? On January 6th, getting ready for what they were going to do to Trump on January 6th, 21. On January 6th of 17, they added to the federal law, U.S. Code 42, Section 5195C, subsection E. They defined critical infrastructure, adding designated election infrastructure. Now, this was a gift. They did it because they covered their ass legally to spy on the elections and to get into it. So under the cover of Russia, gotta save you, they added elections to critical infrastructure, was never there. Then they went around to all sheriff's departments, police departments, as Homeland Security wants to make sure Russia can't hack the election again. So they made the local sheriffs work with the county. DHS worked with the local sheriffs, and they created this connection. Okay? They created a connection. And the connection was to be able to see everything transact. Everything. In order to transact, they knew how many ballots they needed where. They knew Trump was going to win. But see, you don't just throw in votes. You'll miss it. It'll break. You'll expose yourself. So they have to watch everything. That is why in Maricopa, even though my team exposed everything, the way they knew what they were going to do so they could insert right at the last minute, 118,019 ballots, 1 month after the election. The reason they were able to do that to make it work is because they had the intel. And if you remember, President Trump, get the routers, get the Splunk logs, we never got them. You know why we never got them? Because they did a little maneuver through the county to house that at the sheriff's department for the first time in history. For the first time in history. Never happened before. So that particular part of the data was housed at the sheriff's department. So when we came looking for this stuff we legally need, the sheriff, Soros sheriff, said, well, I can't give you that because that's where we house our investigations, and you will see all our ongoing investigations. And that's how they protected it. That is why they, on January 6, 2017, added elections to critical infrastructure. But, see, in them protecting it, they're saying, well, you can't see voter registration. You can't do this. Well, now President Trump is president. Now, what this means is he needs no approvals. None, not a one. Because our elections are critical infrastructures, he can immediately shut down for investigation our voter registration systems and the related election databases. And that's where it is. That's how they do it. That's how they have been able, since the election, to take Kamala from 68 million voters to over 75 million voters by using what's padded in the voter rolls. And by taking her up, they're back validating that Biden's win against Trump was valid with those 81 million voters. They've added 7 million voters to Kamala. Think about that. They're trying to teach you she was more popular than even Hillary or Obama. Well, they did that with this little trick. Now, what this means is President Trump has full control. Now, I'm telling you this. You need to screen capture this and share it far and wide. Not just share it by clicking the share button. It's got to be on your page. President Trump is very sensitive when he hears from you. President Trump needs to hear from you. You got to hammer President Trump calling him out. You got to tag him. You have to use this tag, burn the voter rolls. That's it. That's the message, burn the voter rolls, or we're going to lose the midterms. So let me explain what I'm asking you to do. And if I was president, because I've recommended to President Trump, this be the State of the Union address. You need to put it on your own account. You need to share these videos on your own account, download them. And you need to begin to pummel President Trump by calling him out. And that doesn't mean you just write his name. You have to tag his handle where it turns blue. You got to do it on every platform, Instagram, Truth, etc. But here, if I was president, here's what I would be doing. Can't undo it. That's number one. So the president does not have to declare, hey, I want this under critical infrastructure. It is done. All the president does, he has to ask nobody's permission. None. Zero. He just has to do it. All these states have been showing illegals on the voter rolls. All these states have been showing the massive numbers of people that are on the voter rolls that shouldn't be there. They are showing the motor voter. I want to explain one thing to you. When President Trump and his handlers see it, they'll do the same thing. They'll do that. They'll look at the hashtag, burn the voter rolls, because it gives you the numbers. It tells you how many people are sharing it, how many people are talking about it. You must use hashtag burn the voter rolls. Here's why. When they see that trending, that's why you got to put the hashtag. That's what they're for. When they see it trending and they see everybody's talking about it and everybody's sharing it, that's how you move the president. It's not just little old me doing a hashtag. You must type it in. You should share, but then you've got to quote share, and then you got to pull it, write your own little thing. You got to put the hashtag in it because it just keeps collecting it. He has to see it's reached critical mass. That's how you move a president. Can't undo it. That's number one. So the president does not have to declare, hey, I want this under critical infrastructure. It is done. All the president does, he has to ask nobody's permission. None. Zero. He just has to do it. All these states have been showing illegals on the voter rolls. All these states have been showing the massive numbers of people that are on the voter rolls that shouldn't be there. They are showing the motor voter crisis that put this on. He doesn't need to do any of this. It's already done. It means he has sole responsibility and fiduciary duty to protect the United States of America. And all he has to do is say, I have determined that our critical infrastructure in the United States of America under our elections has been compromised. We have evidence, state after state after state. Therefore, I am stating effective immediately, because we cannot guarantee the integrity of our voter rolls. We are immediately shutting down the voter rolls. Now, this will not affect your ability to vote. If you are an American citizen and you have a valid ID and you are a registered voter, this will not affect your ability to vote. This in no way blocks anybody's vote. But We cannot guarantee your vote will count. We cannot guarantee your vote will not be canceled by the vote of an illegal. Therefore, we are taking measures to protect you, the American people. And the only way we can do that is to temporarily block the use of the nation's voter rolls under critical infrastructure, Code 42. The elections will still go exactly as they've always gone. You will be able to vote. If you are an American citizen and can legally vote, you will be able to vote. And it won't matter if you're gay or straight, black, brown, or purple, you will still be able to vote. But in order to protect you, your rights, your liberty, your freedom, America's laws, and America's Constitution, you're going to have to do your part. And you are going to walk in to vote in the midterms, because we cannot guarantee you that our systems are clean enough that your vote won't be compromised. And we don't want anybody's votes compromised. Therefore, in participating with this country, you'll simply take your ID during the midterms and you will go in and vote. We hope you understand that this is to protect you, because we know whether it's Democrat, Independent, Republican, or otherwise, that our nation's voting structure and system and its integrity is important to you. And just like every Democrat says, we don't want any suppression of the vote. We don't want anybody votes harmed. We don't want anybody, well, their vote canceled because they voted illegally. Therefore, in order to protect every single citizen of this nation, as part of critical infrastructure, we are immediately shutting down the use of our voter rolls because we know they have been compromised. We are beginning an investigation in every single state of each voter roll. And as my power of the president, I assure you, we will make sure that our voter rolls, before they come back and online, are safe and secure. But you do not vote because you're on the voter rolls. You vote because you're an American citizen. So with this temporary suspension of the voter rolls, it does not block your opportunity to vote. Nothing changes that. You are an American citizen. You will be allowed to vote no matter what city, what state, or wherever you are. We're going to protect you. We're going to protect this country. And now it's up to you to do your part, to get out in the midterms, bring in your ID, and make sure you vote. We will get to the bottom of this, and we will protect every single citizen with no regard for race, color, or creed. And that's my job as President of the United States of America. We hope to make it fast. We hope to get it done. But be prepared. This may happen in the midterms. But I assure you, as long as I'm president, we will get it fixed and we will bring these back online. That's the message President Trump has to deliver. Clip it, send it. Okay, now get ready, because I want you to understand the rules. Number one, nobody's got this covered. Tulsi Gabbard does not have this covered. This is not covered until you get involved and you share that message directly with the president. Not just doing a little okay forward or tag Trump. When you get it and you put it on your social media, every single social media, with that hashtag, that's when we begin to make a difference. That's number one. Number two, the people on Motor Voter, yes, they'll be able to show up with ID. And because this has to do with critical infrastructure, it will finally merge the list of illegals and temporaries. And if they show up and try to vote, they can immediately be shut down, rounded up, and deported. So you hope the Motor Voters show up. I'm telling you, they don't. You think illegals vote? Shit, no. Those ballots in those states go to some Catholic charity or some NGO. They get 30,000 to one location. All of them disappear. None of those illegals come get them. None of them. Those illegals don't stay there. None of this is covered until you cover it yourself. There is no waiting for a queue. There is no blockchain QF fuck you in the ass ballot. And yes, I cussed. And if you want to shy away from war, go back to your safe place and do it. Leave it to people that care about America. We'll fight. And by the way, we're pissed. But until you do this yourself, nothing's going to happen. Not a thing. And you better believe everybody around President Trump, just like it was in his very first presidency, the last 2 weeks of his first term, I'm communicating hard, fast, and furious with the White House, trying to get the president to codify the code for keeping the ballots, U.S. Code 42, to make sure they are not only safe and they have to say them, but it also means they can be looked at for audits. I knew what was coming. Cipollone, the White House attorney, basically said you can't do that or it'll give over voter information, which is a lie. Total lie. Kept them from doing it. The way has been paved, but it takes courage, and it takes a people. You know, you've been told for years, you must instruct your lawmakers. Do you think you can't instruct President Trump? Don't you know it was you instructing him tear down or to build the wall? Come on. But until you learn how to play this game, until you actually do it, don't take lazy shortcuts. Well, I'll just share it. Maybe I'll share it. I'll put it off and share it. Because I don't want to have to download. I don't have to type something originally. And there you understand. I don't want to have to type in a hashtag. And there you understand. They know we are like this. They know we are too lazy to even right mouse click save photo for this. And they know we're too lazy to go to download video from Twitter, do the link, copy it, boom, there, and it downloads to your computer and do it. They know it. The way out of this is to prove to them they don't really know us and they underestimated us. But the vast majority of America won't even type in a hashtag. Won't even tag the president. We can bitch all day long because that's the only thing anybody's taught. Bitch, 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 bitch. And wait, I mean, these ballots are going to talk to radars, cyberly, QFETIS, kinetically, quantaphysic, phenomenally, polygonal, 6 degrees, shit, a fractal? That's a big word. How do you even spell it? They know us too well. And we have to break that mold. And if we don't break that mold, our country's gone. If we don't break that mold, our country is gone. If you can't even share a program, copy that video. It's everywhere. Telegram, my Twitter, whatever. Download it. What are you on the net for? You're enjoying me in the net and you can't even save a video? Everybody should be pulling this whole program and putting it on their Rumbles and their YouTubes. They know we won't do it. They know us too well. And you know what? Predominantly, we won't do it. And so we can point all day long at everybody else. But if there was ever a truism, one's out there and four's pointing back at you, well, that's the truth, folks. Because inherently, Americans are too fucking lazy to fight for themselves. And that's why for them to get the con, they could tell you, well, Q's got this. President's still in control. We tagged all the ballots. Just for those of you gathering in, I'm going to show you one more time. This came out, Alex Jones on InfoWar, when we knew the election was stolen. Okay? I want you to understand this. This is how fucking lazy we are as Americans when we believe a CIA asset whistleblower is telling us the truth and we stand down.
Let me just say again what I said in 2016. There are honorable members of our intelligence, military, and civilian community in the government who understood exactly how corrupt Biden and the Democratic machinery is, was, and will be. This is really a sting operation. Contrary to what everybody else said, Trump knew this was happening. Eric knew this was happening and warned the public. I knew this was happening. However, I could not say anything about it. What happened was we watermarked every ballot with what's called the QFS blockchain encryption code. In other words, we know pretty well where every ballot is, where it went, and who has it. So this is not a stolen election. On the contrary, we reversed the entire game of war along the lines of Sun Tzu, the art of war. And Trump was brilliant and still is brilliant at it. In the art of the war, you pull back, allow your enemy to make all the mistakes that they are making, manipulate the situation, expose them, and then come in for the final killing. And that's what's happening now. None of this was unexpected. The genius of Trump is that he is able to pull back at any point and manipulate the opponent without the opponent ever realizing. And he said, I will use common sense or my intelligence, i.e. both literal and figurative intelligence. What was not announced was that we watermarked all the ballots with what I said, QFS blockchain, which is a very hard encryption code to break. And the second thing is we sent probably 20,000 or more National Guards 48 hours ago. None of it was reported, and I thank the press for not reporting it and others. So what in fact is happening is you're seeing a sophisticated sting operation that was initiated by Trump. I'm just a lowly peasant in this game. And honestly, I was informed that I could say something about it today, only last night. This is not a surprise here. This is the biggest sting operation probably in our country that we've ever had. To use it in terms of counting, knowing which ones were fake, which ones were not, it's a very sophisticated code. So if you just throw them away, these are cyber communication implementations that we have the code for. We know exactly what was thrown away. We know exactly what was placed. We know exactly who has it, and we know exactly where it went. I can't go any further than that.
I want you to think about that. That guy's recirculating. That guy is recirculating. And think about everybody that covered him. Think about every person in conservative media that gave that guy a voice. I want you to think about that. Because it was all a con. It was all a con. It was all crap. And how do you spell this? Pesniak, Pezianick, whatever it is. Pesniak, you know what I'm saying? He's now making the rounds again. He's now making the rounds again. All of these stories are being remanufactured. They're giving you new stuff. They're giving you new stuff to chase. I want you to think about that. My sound changed again. I don't know why that happens. No, my sound's right. I just want you to think about that. Because this is how it works. People will tell you Tulsi Gabbard's got this. That is not true. That is not true. If you don't have sound, refresh. That is not true. Right? That's not true. The only people that could possibly have this is you. And in most people, you're not maximizing what you can do. You're just not maximizing what you can do. And this guy pissed me off, Knack. And all of these guys are all making the rounds. The person that got Tina Peters in prison that did the real dastardly deed with the drives, the FBI informant, can't testify. The person who was supposed to have the PCAPs for Mike showing was China, CIA informant, can't testify. But yet all these CIA and FBI whistleblowers come forward and kind of tell you what it is, and you don't get it. This is the con. Undo the con. Lift your fingers. Fight for what's right. Fight for what's right. Because if you don't, we're going to lose it. And they are begging. They are begging for this evidence to go away. And they will look at anything but if you let them. Lift a finger, get involved, or we're done with it. It's that simple, folks.
Our courts are based on clear and convincing evidence. Want convictions? Want justice? For what happened in the 2020 election? Then we need your help. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The decision you make in the next few moments could decide whether we ever get our elections fixed or not. Here's why. Trump campaign and allies filed 64 different lawsuits. They all went down in flames. 100% of these cases were presented on "It's the machines," or "The machines changed the votes," or "The voting company executive said he would make sure Donald J. Trump would not win." They all went down in flames. Why? You can't bring theories to court as evidence. No supposed Zoom call or six-degree polynomial math theory or census data is or ever will be proof of fraud. You can't bring theories to court as evidence. Here's why. In both civil and criminal law, the side making a claim carries the burden of proof, and prosecutors must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Without physical or otherwise verifiable evidence, a case cannot meet this high threshold. Physical evidence is the key. The question is, did anyone get relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The full forensic audit of Maricopa County, Arizona is the only evidence-gathering work which gathered relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election. Evidence so damning that the system, the deep state, and those who pull the strings of this country have fought to keep it hidden and have hoped to have it be forgotten to time. Almost $3 million invested in time, funds, and efforts to unlock that which the system wanted hidden. But now, that evidence is in danger of being lost forever. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. With the 2026 midterms coming up, the system is going to try to lame duck President Trump and then most likely introduce new impeachment proceedings. This is the evidence which will help win the war which is surely to come. We need to keep Maricopa County full forensic investigation and archive secure and ongoing. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We need your help securing the full forensic audit archives. Don't allow the only testable, objective, and reliable 2020 election evidence fall into obscurity. Millions were spent on getting it documented and tested. This is historic evidence. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County full forensic audit archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. Please donate now.